Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for guys. Today guys, of course, here we're checking out the newest episode of The Mandalorian Season 3. This is The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, titled, we won't know of course till we get into the episode. So it's early as hell, as always in the morning here, but I try to get to these episodes as fast as possible. And last week's episode, the of course return of Mandalorian after a long hiatus, even though we saw Din and Grogu since the end of Mandalorian Season 2 a number of years ago at the end of 2020, we've seen them since then, but it felt great to return to Mandalorian. It felt great to return to the show and to see Din and Grogu back together, and then of course saving, their section of, Mandalorians or whatever, even though he's not really the Mandalorian right now because of him removing his helmet, all that kind of stuff. He's an apostate. Still, he saved them from that gigantic, alligator, turtle creature or whatever, which was a cool sequence. And at first they were kind of playing it, maybe this is Din in a flashback, like taking the oath or whatever. But no, he was actually there to kind of save the day. And his whole goal now is to go back to Mandalore to bathe in the waters underground to basically absolve his discrepancies, removing the helmet and all that kind of stuff, so he could be a Mandalorian again under the eyes of what he believes. Even though Bo-Katan says, well, what you believe to be as a Mandalorian is very different than me and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like her scene is just all set up. Like, we're going to see a lot of Bo-Katan, I'm assuming, in this season. Who knows? But I'm assuming at some point she's going to want to fight for that Darksaber, because that was the whole plan, to retake Mandalore. So we'll see about that. But it felt great to see the show back. Shorter episode, sure, but this is a longer episode, so I'm excited to get into it. And I've been hearing great things, people online, Twitter going, oh my god. So I'm excited to see what happens in this episode. So here we go, guys. The third season of Mandalorian, episode 2. Let's dive in. Let's see what they show us. Let's go.
The songs of eons past foretold of the Mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of Mandalore.
Racing some kind? Yeah, like a race. Hey.
I don't know what to tell you. I have big plans.
Do you have big plans?
I work all day. I'm very popular. Let's get this thing back together again. Quickly, before he sees you. Go,
Quickly.
Go. Put those cards. Well, where's my guy?
There he is.
There he is. Oh, are the Hutts back? Are you checking on Boba Fett?
I need a droid part.
Oh yeah, for
Hey, get the
IG-11.
back in here before they... Memory circuit.
Memory circuit.
Sorry, pal.
I'm going to Mandalore. I need a droid that can explore ahead of me and test the atmosphere.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you this for half the price.
Half.
And throw in a free oil bath. May the force be with you!
Always. Oh, I love that title. Okay, alright.
It's Mandalore, the homeworld of our people.
Our
Every
people?
Mandalorian can trace their roots
Aww.
back to this planet. A Mandalorian has to understand maps and know their way around.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you'll never be lost.
Whoa. It's crazy.
R5, you ready?
I
I need
know.
you to scout ahead and analyze the atmosphere.
That droid doesn't want to do this. Going out of view. So now we don't know what's gonna happen.
Here, look. Don't worry, kid. I'll be right back.
I mean... Whoa. There you go. Come on, Dan.
The charts were wrong. The atmosphere is breathable.
And I gotta be on alert now. Let's do this. Whoa, that's cool.
The mines should be further down.
Well, yeah.
Guess we're on our own from here.
Pretty much. Of course. I mean, there's gotta be stuff down here. What is that? Whatever it is, looks cool.
Look, that passage heads down.
Yep. Let's keep going. Whoa. Oh, Jesus! Holy shit. Where is it taking him? Okay. What is Grogu gonna do here? Uh-oh.
Get to Bo-Katan.
He is flying. He's flying. I'm getting out of here. Woo. Oh, of course they have wings, of course. There's another one. Of course. Come on, get out of there, come on.
Your Majesty.
The child is here.
Let's get rid of him once and for all.
You get rid of Grogu? She doesn't know that, obviously, so.
I want to be left alone.
It's little Grogu, though.
Download the astromech, find out where they were.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. It clears up. Yeah. Now that she's seeing Mandalore now, she's probably thinking, I need that Darksaber. I need it.
Okay, kid. I'm gonna need you to guide me to him. Can you do that?
I just love the fact that Bo-Katan's in live action. It's just so cool, you know? What's the droid doing? Okay, watch the Mythosaur. The droid trying to leave? It's crazy. She'll be like...
This was once a beautiful civilization.
Mm-hmm.
My family ruled it all.
This trek through Mandalore is very different than Din's because of her connection to actually being on Mandalore, you know?
I knew quite a few Jedi, you know.
Oh.
I
Yes?
don't know what they taught you about us, but there was a time we actually got along quite well.
What's up there? Oh. Damn. Ooh. That fight went very well compared to Din, where he was kind of struggling. What the fuck is he taking? Blood or something? Uh-huh. Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Holy shit.
Din, I can't hear.
Oh shit.
Are you
This is
trying
gonna be bad.
to-
Nice maneuver. Chop everything up, chop everything up.
Look around. There's nothing left.
Well, there's still things alive.
Society.
What is this?
You've never eaten pog soup.
No.
I honestly think that it's adorable that you actually believe these children's stories. But there's nothing magic about the waters.
I'll always be in your debt. But I can't go with you until I fulfill my obligation.
I will
Yeah.
take you.
Oh, what?
It looks like it's been centuries.
The Empire set out to punish us. To wipe away our memory.
Your father sounds like an interesting man. I would have liked to have known him.
He was a great man. He died defending Mandalore.
This is the way.
The waters. I think. Is that, yeah?
Here you go. According to ancient folklore, the mines were once a Mythosaur lair. Mandalore the Great is said to have tamed the mythical beast.
Of course he's not taking off all of his armor and everything. That defeats the whole purpose.
And the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
Oh, shit. Where'd he go? Just chilling on the bottom. What pulled him down there? Oh my god! That just happened. That just happened. Oh no, it's gonna cut the right. No, damn it. That is a way you end an episode. Holy shit. That was so awesome. And there's a reason that they cut to Bo-Katan and focusing on her before it goes to credits. I think this changes a lot of things now. I think. Wow. Okay, so all of this was about going to the mines of Mandalore. That was the whole point of the title of the episode. That's what we were leading up to. Here's the thing. I wasn't expecting Din to go to Mandalore this fast, but I guess they're not wasting any time. Like, legit, we're just going to go. Because his whole point was to bring back the IG unit, of course, from episode 1. Then it was brought back in a sense, but then it went back to its old, like, mindset, essentially. The whole point of killing Grogu. So he got a new unit from, I forget her character's name, but she's always interesting to see in this show. But he got an R5 unit, and then, of course, it was attacked, and Din had to defend, and she said, Bo-Katan said what the species of that creatures were that, like, used to live on the outskirts or whatever, away from Mandalore, but now they're now thriving and running around in the ruins, the tomb, as Bo-Katan said, of Mandalore, and seeing them and some other creatures, and of course, the Mythosaur at the fucking end. This changes a lot of things, I think, now. I think. Because Bo-Katan, in the first episode of this season, made the point that, you know, your version of being a Mandalorian and stuff, and Mandalore, and she was, like, just done with everything, because she lost all of her support, essentially, because she didn't have the Darksaber to take back Mandalore. Well, with Din being captured by whatever that creature was or whatever that had its own body, but then it was really like a head, but it was attached to a robot body, but then had a gigantic robot mech, like, suit or whatever that captured Din in the first place when he was looking at that Mandalorian helmet. If Din wasn't captured, I don't think Bo-Katan, even though she was nearby, she was on another moon or something, or very nearby to Mandalore. If Grogu wouldn't have showed up, I don't think she ever would have went to Mandalore, right? And I love that, because, see, it was a little piece of information that tied back in so well, because earlier in the episode, we had Din on, like, the navigation or whatever on the ship before they go into Mandalore, when they actually start diving into the system. He shows Grogu, I was born on that moon, and then that is where Bo-Katan is. We just saw her. He's pointing out where she was. Then when he's captured, he's, go find Bo-Katan. Then he flies out of there with his little like, ball or whatever. And then that creature, of course, that like crocodile, glowing looking creature or whatever, that has, of course, has wings as well, chased him or whatever, but he got out of there, thankfully, and he was able to point out where to go. He just knew. And I think if Din would have showed up, right, it's like Grogu was captured. I don't think Din would have went and got Bo-Katan for help. I think, you know, Din would have done what he had to do to get Grogu back. But, like, it was very clear she didn't want to see Din again. And so when she saw the ship coming in after being told, hey, we have an unexpected visitor, if it was Din and Grogu, I don't think she would have done anything. But the circumstances aligned to where she goes back to Mandalore. Now, here's what I like. With all that tying in terms of Grogu being shown the map or whatever, this is where Bo-Katan is, so he could easily go back and get her. It's a nice little tie-in to go, because there have been a lot of questions. How would Grogu have known exactly where to go to find Bo-Katan if that little piece of dialogue was not there, and to show he knows where Bo-Katan is planet-wise? So they answer that question. But when they showed Din traveling through Mandalore with Grogu and seeing underground, and then dropping down to whatever at the bottom, and they're searching around and everything, and then of course he gets captured. Then we see Bo-Katan with Grogu do the similar path, not as long, but still covering a lot of the same kind of areas before Din, of course, gets rescued. It's very different. It's very different. Like, you just feel like this is very different for her, and of course they make a point of that, how important she was on Mandalore, how just not that long ago, like, this place was filled with our people and everything, Mandalorians and all that, and now everything is gone. It's a tomb, as she said, And she's giving a little piece of information here and there and all that. And then, of course, she goes to save Din. And, of course, what does she go for first when she needs help? She goes for the Darksaber. And she did a pretty damn good job. Like, she kicked ass with that Darksaber. And I feel like that might be turning the tides of her wanting to actually fight for that Darksaber, right? And so when Din is rescued, and that was a great action sequence, by the way, and when that robot woke back up and it was a little head crawling, I'm like, yeah, this wasn't going to be the end, because that giant mech thing is right there. We're going to have to see that again, right? And so we did, of course. And she slid under it, like, swiped the Darksaber on the bottom of it, swiping everywhere, going crazy. I'm like, she is, like, she used that Darksaber so much better and more efficient than Din did. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's going to fight for that thing. But see, it compounds even more, because when she finally just agrees to help Din, because Din's not going to go back to the ship and leave. He's going to continue on to find, you know, the waters. He needs to go. So when he says he's going to do that, it's okay, fine. And so when they're walking along, they're having conversation about her father, and how, and I was mentioning a little bit ago about how not that long ago, there was other Mandalorians. This place was, you know, a beautiful place. It's very different now. And they're having this conversation, and she's kind of thinking back on everything. And then when they get to the waters, she jokingly is reading off the little, like, you know, like like it's an attraction or whatever, like a tour guide, as she was kind of going off about it. And then, of course, Din starts taking off part of his outfit. Of course, not the entirety of it. He's not, because that defeats the purpose of why he's there in the first place. He took off his helmet. Him taking off his helmet to bathe in the waters of Mandalore. Now, I don't know if he's actually supposed to bathe in the waters without his armor. I'm assuming you're supposed to bathe with your armor in the waters of Mandalore to fix your issues, I'm guessing, because if he removed his helmet, which would be cool to see Pedro, right? But it's not Pedro, obviously, in this. A lot of this I don't think is Pedro at all on set. He's definitely on set at times, but definitely I don't think a lot of the times here. But like, he started taking, like, he's not gonna take everything off, because that defeats the whole purpose. What exactly makes him fall in? Is it because there was a drop-off that was not intended there before? I'm not 100% sure. Did he get pulled under by a Mythosaur? The one we saw, I don't know. But that moment, when she went all the way down there and brought him all the way up and saw a living Mythosaur, because they mentioned it twice in this episode, and they're previously on, and then they said a little bit later in the episode, they brought up Mythosaur again, because it was in that little tour thing, the Mythosaur. So with the camera focusing on Bo-Katan, that tells me there's a lot of things have now changed. And I think she's really going to fight for it. She's going to fight that Darksaber. And the thing is, it's not going to be to where Din can just get punched in the face and then he loses the Darksaber. Like, they actually have to have a fight. I don't know how to go about, though. I don't know. But I'm guessing he bathed because he was in the water for quite some time. And presumably he was pulled in by Mythosaur. He fell. I mean, it looks like he was pulled, right? Pulled down, because I feel like if there was a drop off point in the water, he could have pushed himself back up. I'm pretty sure he was pulled down by a Mythosaur or something else. They didn't exactly tell you what exactly happened, but I assume he was pulled down by something. Man, I'm gonna go back and watch that scene again. That was really cool. To see that, I'm like, no, and they fucking show it. Oh my god, that is so awesome. Oh my god, it's phenomenal. God, this show is so good. It is, and the pacing of this episode, some people might criticize because it was slow-ish at times, but I like the fact that we were taking our time for Din exploring Mandalore and then seeing Bo-Katan go through a similar path. Not as long, but still. Her, because it's very different for her than versus Din being there for the, because he's like, I've never been here before. Obviously, he's never been there before, and for her, this is returning home, right? It's a very different vibe. So I kind of like how they paced it out. But I really enjoyed the episode. I can't wait to see what happens next week. I mean, the way they ended this episode was so good, and seeing, you know, Grogu getting a lot of screen time as expected, obviously, and being cute and adorable and all that, and and mouthing little words. I'm assuming, I'm just going to throw a theory out here now, based on that little sequence where she's like, did he talk? Did he talk? I'm assuming he's actually going to speak for the first time, probably in the season 3 finale. That's my guess. Where he actually says something, or a sentence, or something. He's going to talk. Who knows, right? Who knows? But we'll see. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed this episode. I cannot wait. I love the fact that Mandalorian is back, and I love the fact that this show does so well with its storytelling and its reveals. I mean, that reveal of that Mythosaur was awesome. And my God, and Bo-Katan actually playing seems to be a pretty significant role, hopefully, moving forward within this season, because I love that character. I love the fact that they got her on Mandalore. It's like it's a big moment for her. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know what you thought about this episode, guys. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.